one of the toughest areas of questioning that you often will come across in a job interview is if you are a candidate who has a bit of an issue around some short timeframes with companies. Now, if it's just one company, then it's not necessarily a major issue, although you would certainly expect the potential hiring managers to do some pretty thorough drill down as to why that was a short stint and is that a concern for them, and etc, etc. But certainly if you've got more than one, if in all honesty, when you look at your own resume or your own CV, you have a sense of, well, there've been a few that haven't been that long lasting, the tendency, of course, for you is to feel very justified about that and to think, oh, well, that was because this happened, or that was because this happened, or that company was rubbish, or that manager was a fool, or something. Now, all of these things could be true. The difficulty, of course, is for the hiring manager. They can't really find out whether that's true or not, and it just gives them that sense of, oh, here's Mark, and he's only lasted 6 months at this company, and that was only a 4-month stint, and that one was only 10, and oh, this all feels like a candidate that chops and changes an awful lot. Now, I think if it's real, if it's genuinely a bit of a problem, you're much better off adopting something of a sort of a mea culpa, as in, yes, I'll deal with that, I'll take some ownership of that, rather than trying to fight tooth and claw over every single instance, because it will become a very, very sort of antagonistic dynamic in the interview, where you are asked, well, why did this one go wrong, and you have to explain it again, and they go, well, what about this one, and then you've got to go again, and it gets very, very difficult to keep control and keep a nice sense of harmony. So take some ownership is a good idea. Now, obviously, if you're going to take ownership of things that maybe haven't worked out too well for you, I think it's important that you can show what you've learned from those experiences, and very importantly, you've got to give some reassurance that that's not going to happen again, because that's all that the hiring manager is really bothered about. They're looking at this very much from a point of view of past performance is often a very good indicator of what will happen in the future. Not always, but it often is. And so understandably, if someone's seeing a candidate who seems to chop and change a lot, or makes a lot of decisions that don't seem to end up sticking, they are concerned that it could happen to them as the employer. That they can invest time and money and effort and what have you in you, and then again after X months time you decide it's not for you, or they decide you're not for them, and it all falls over. So take some ownership, be mindful of the power of actually accepting some blame and some responsibility for some of these things, but very importantly, show what you've learnt from that. Do what you can, say what you can to make them feel that that was the past, that was then, and this is now, and it isn't necessarily going to happen again, and you can quite conceivably overcome their concern around short stints. So good luck. It is a difficult area, but if it's handled well, it doesn't have to be a deal breaker. So good luck with that.